Hello, I'm Carolyn Blacksoach here, and welcome to Kaleidoscope, your guide to the arts in Harford County. The arts unify communities, and here on Kaleidoscope, we keep you up to date on the county art scene, highlighting local artists and organizers who are working to bring all of us together, making Harford County a better place to live and thrive. So, let's get started. Welcome to this special edition of Kaleidoscope. As you can see, we are not in the studio since we're staying safe and social distancing during this difficult time. But take note, even a pandemic cannot stop the arts from moving forward in Harford County. So here's the latest arts news. On April 6th, the Harford County Cultural Arts Board met virtually to discuss the state of the arts in Harford County and the effects of the COVID-19 crisis. The board made several important decisions, which include relaxing the requirements for current grants and extending the deadlines and waiving the need for current general operating grantees to apply for the 2021 fiscal year. They also created the Harford County Emergency Relief Grant Fund. Independent artists who live in Harford County and demonstrate proof of the artistic practice providing income prior to COVID-19 and financial need are eligible to apply while funds remain. To find out more, go to culturalartsboard.org. For many Harford Countyans, COVID-19 and its impact on our everyday lives remind us of the joy and enlightenment the arts bring. So let's take the time to reflect by looking back at some of our favorite artist feature segments. Do you remember local farrier Brandon Amos? He introduced us to the unique artistry of horseshoeing and its importance to the equine community. Join us as we once again shine a light on Brandon Amos.
I love waking up in the morning. I love the smell of a horse. I love the sound of a hammer hitting a shoe on an anvil. There's nothing better to me. Farrier is the art of shoeing horses and balancing the horse's hoof. We're at Oldfield School. This is a place I come every week, once a week, maybe twice a week. I have to say, this is one of the best places anybody could ever work. I got into this 22 years ago. A gentleman by the name of Michael Van Oy changed my life. And I told him, I said, I really want to try that. I really want to go with you one weekend. He took me with him. We became best friends. We're still best friends to this day. And it's been the best thing I could have ever done. And I've had a chance to have an apprentice or two. I had one who lasted a very long time with me, 3 years. She is now on her own, doing great. And that's what means the most to me, is to when you go somewhere, they see somebody helping a horse and you help that person get started. We'll pull the shoes off the horse if the horse has shoes on. We'll clean the foot up with a brush. We'll trim the hoof with a knife and nippers. We'll balance the foot with a rasp. We'll go pick the shoe that we need for that certain horse, put it in the fire, get it hot, shape it on the anvil, bring it to the horse's hoof, burn it onto the horse's hoof, which is what we call hot shoeing. It helps seal the horse's hoof back up. It shows me where the fit needs to be. Go cool the shoe, clean it up, rasp on it, or use a grinder to clean it up. And then we'll go and nail the shoe on, bring the foot forward, clinch the nails onto the foot to make sure the shoe stays. Where we're nailing and hot shoeing, there's no feeling in that part of the horse's hoof. Being a farrier making horseshoes are the same. Being a blacksmith and being a farrier are two different things. Being a blacksmith is ornamental, tools, weapons. Being a farrier is strictly working on horses and shoeing horses. The technique of shoeing horses, being a farrier, has not changed much. We still have to bend over and get underneath the horse. We still have to nail the shoes on. The only thing that changed is some of the material that we can use now, as far as gluing a shoe on, wrapping it in casting material. That's really the only thing in my mind that has changed. We're still using fire to heat shoes. We're using propane instead of coal when we're out in the field, because they used to use coal forges everywhere you went. Now we have these beautiful shoeing rigs that we call them, with everything you can think of in them. We shoe horses because people ride them. It's not like they are in the wild. We get on their backs, which is unnatural. We're putting extra weight on them. We're making them move a different way. So we want to keep them sound. Sound meaning not sore, not lame. And the ones that I'm doing are athletes. They're competing for a living. And just like human athletes, they need proper shoes for the conformation of their legs and their limbs. It's always growing, but it's staying the same in the same breath. We all work together for one thing, and that's for the horse. That's where the art comes in to me. Somebody shared it with me.
Guidelines for fiscal year 21 public art across Maryland grants are now available on the Maryland State Arts Council's website. Visit msac.org for more information. Harford County Cultural Arts Board denounces the brutal treatment that the Black community has received in this country. We emphatically believe that Black lives matter. We stand with Black artists and the entire Black community. As artists and artistic supporters, we celebrate differences and work for justice. You are seen, you are heard, we are with you. Welcome back. As part of the Maryland Strong Roadmap to Recovery, the art sector was one of 13 industry recovery advisory groups formed by the Maryland Department of Commerce at Governor Hogan's direction. The Maryland Arts Recovery Task Force is charged with developing recommendations and best practices to responsibly reopen and operate. 2 documents have been released reflecting the work that has begun, developing strategies for now and the future. Go to msac.org to see the reports and find out more about how the Maryland State Arts Council is working to strengthen and support the future of Maryland arts. We have exciting news to share. In recognition of the important role art plays in our society, Governor Hogan and the Board of Public Works voted to continue to invest in the arts throughout these troubled times. Acknowledging their outstanding service to the arts community, Maryland State Arts Council has recently approved a county arts development grant in the amount of $166,901 to the Harford County Cultural Arts Board. It is with these funds that the Cultural Arts Board can continue to support our local theater groups, nonprofit art galleries, choral groups, symphony, and performing arts centers, as well as independent artists in our community. Liam Gallihue is another talented artist we featured last year on Kaleidoscope. His passion for singing, performing, and raising money for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation touched our hearts. Let's take another look and shine a light on Liam Gallihue.
Every year, the Key Club does an event where they host a prom for senior citizens because, high school seniors aren't the only ones that get to have the fun. So seniors come on down, they have fun, have food, we get catering, all that sort of stuff, and the jazz band always sings songs from their time and that sort of thing. I was first asked by Mr. Hoff, the band director, a year ago to sing at various events because I like to sing a lot, and this is one of the most recent ones we have to do here tonight, so I'll be joining the jazz band for tonight's event as well.
This is an event run by Key Club. Key Club is our service organization run by our students associated with the Circle K National Service Organization. And the students in Key Club brought back a tradition we had back in the 80s and 90s of a senior citizen prom, a night for our seniors in the community to get dressed up and come out and enjoy fun. They get food for them. The jazz ensemble at our high school provides entertainment. We do about 2 hours of music. It's just a night for our students to interact with the senior citizens and give them a great time.
I always say sometimes that I was born in a different decade. First of all, I love the music. I love this kind of old school jazz, all that sort of stuff. I really love singing that on my own time. But there's also just that great part about the prom of just seeing people hear something that they used to sing as a child, and hearing, you know, some women get up and dance at the prom because they remember listening to this song on the radio when they were in college and all that sort of stuff. It's just really wonderful to see people's faces light up when they, you know, hear a song they remember. One of the best parts about this experience is just watching people feel that nostalgia for their time and just bringing people back to there. That's really the best part about this.
You're going to see a lot of interaction with our seniors and the students, whether it's serving them dinner, waiting on them, getting them drinks, or out on the dance floor. The seniors will be teaching the students some of the swing dance moves, and when the band takes a break, we'll play some of the more modern dance too, and our students will be teaching the seniors the electric slide and the cha-cha and all that fun stuff. So a lot of really great interaction. You know, our school motto is enter to learn, leave to serve. And we want to, in Gallihue and Grace High School, create a situation where service is expected. Service is something you simply do, not because there's required hours or not because it's a graduation requirement. We serve because we know we're trying to make ourselves and others around us better. So I think what we're doing in this event today is living the school motto. Enter, learn, leave to serve. How we can make those in our community better. And giving back to the seniors that have paved the way for our students is just wonderful to see.
I'm kind of known around the school because I have a disease called cystic fibrosis. It's genetic lung disease. And so I kind of have some amount of recognition around the school, but he's worked with me and my sister for theater before. I do a lot of theater and shows, so he knows me also from there. There's a lot of problems that happen with CF. It's mainly a lot of mucus buildup in the lungs and other areas. Currently, for example, lung function tests come out at about 42% right now. But singing has been something that's always been super interesting for me. Plus, my doctors like me to do it because it's very good exercise. So it's always been something I've really loved to do, and accidentally treatment at the same time. Music and singing has always tied me back to my family. We're all very musical, so singing and being together and playing instruments has just always been a wonderful way for us to spend time with one another, to connect, and it's such a wonderful thing seeing that happen here as well.
Congratulations to the following artists who have received COVID-19 emergency relief grants from the Harford County Cultural Arts Board. As the official county arts agency, the Harford County Cultural Arts Board is the premier local resource for arts organizations, independent artists, and the audiences of Harford County, Maryland. The government-appointed board provides advocacy and administrative support sponsors workshops, events, and promotional opportunities, and encourages and invests in the advancement of the arts for the community. Go to culturalartsboard.org to learn more. While you're there, sign up for their monthly newsletter and follow them on Facebook to stay connected. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. The Harford County Cultural Arts Board is now accepting applications for community arts development grants to support arts programming. Maryland nonprofits, colleges, universities, units of government, and religious organizations may request matching grants to support direct costs of arts programming for the general public in Harford County. The deadline to apply is September 15th, so don't wait. Go to culturalartsboard.org now for more information. Grace Cavalieri is an accomplished poet, playwright, and radio host. Last year, she was appointed the 10th Poet Laureate of Maryland. We were honored to catch up with Grace right before the start of the pandemic in her hometown of Annapolis. So it's time to premiere a new Shine a Light segment featuring Grace Cavalieri.
Today we're here to celebrate the idea of National Poetry Month. That is in April. And so Harford County is the host for a great extravaganza, an all-day event, April 4th, where we're going to celebrate poetry. I'm coming in to do a teenage workshop. We're going to have music. I'm going to give a poetry reading. We're going to ask people in the audience to share their poetry. It's going to be an all-day bonanza. I have a radio program, and I've interviewed 3,000 poets in 44 years. And every one of them says, "You won't believe this, but I wrote as a child." And I say, "No, really?" Because we all did. But I had wonderful teachers who said, "Go on." They gave me permission to go on. And that's what I try to do with other people. Each of us has a voice. Each of us is inimitable. What I say, no one else can say. No one else has felt what I have felt. No one else knows what it feels to be alive in my body. So that is the gift I have to give. Every person in this world has that one gift, the gift of themselves. And poetry gives you the chance to show who you are by what you think, what you feel, what you believe, and what you touch, what you value. It's a portrait of your soul, really. And what could be more valuable? I'm an artist, and I was married to an artist, and he was a sculptor, and I was a writer. So we had a good fit. He liked to be alone, I liked to be alone, and then we liked to be together. He was a naval aviator, an officer in the Navy, and was in Vietnam. He was a carrier pilot, and he never had to kill anyone, but he came back extremely different from the way he left. And it took him a long time. He couldn't even see the Vietnam Wall for 11 years. It took him that long. And so he said, in the midst of the fire, he said, "If I ever get out of here alive, I am going to buy myself a welding set and make the art I've always dreamed of." And he did. And he invented the lost wood process, where he would find wood or carve it, then put nails on it, molten bronze, and it would take a year sometimes to make a piece, but he healed himself through art. And his work looks like him because the nails are all inside. The pain and the sharp nails are inside, but on the outside is this beautiful gleaming bronze, which was the life that he restored in himself. So he's a success story because art heals. And everything I've ever needed to do and feel has been a therapy in writing too. Art really saves lives. And that's what I feel when I go about and give people the gift of poetry. When you were in the 9th grade and I was in the 7th, you were a crossing guard keeping order at junior high school number 3. No one was disobedient when you wore that wide yellow strap across your chest. No one bruised another, caused trouble, or so much as threw a stone. No one cracked a joke about you, a man in uniform. How did that yellow vest feed your soul to let you know someday you'd fly a plane just to feel the power of a strap across your chest? What liberation to know how to be in charge, strong and capable. Flying through gunfire and lightning again and again to come back to me. Although we were young, you were 15 and I was 13. Since then, I've never known the world without you. Now, I must be 12. I just want to say what I feel because I know it's going to connect with something you think. And usually, the other person says, I've always felt that, but I just never had the courage to say it. So, writing for me is an act of courage. It's risk-taking. It's being new every day. It's noticing the world. It's being fully alive and awake every minute. And that's what poetry is for me.
The Harford County Cultural Arts Board waived the application requirement for all 8 Harford County-based nonprofits receiving general operating support in fiscal year 20. These organizations will automatically receive the same grant amount in fiscal year 21, in addition to 2 other nonprofits who applied earlier this year. Best wishes and congratulations to all. The Arts in Education program supports teaching artists and the elevation of their careers through the Teaching Artist roster. Apply now to become a Maryland State Arts Council teaching artist at msac.org. As we wrap up today's program, we leave you with an inspiring message of hope produced by Wide Angle Youth Media for the Maryland State Arts Council. It reminds us all how resilient and inspiring the arts are, even during a pandemic. Thank you for watching this special edition of Kaleidoscope. I'm Carolyn Black-Sotier.
We are still here. We're dancing and designing. We're sculpting and singing. We're reading and writing. We're painting and playing. We're creating. We are Maryland artists, and we are ready and waiting.